Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today I have nothing to say. Other than that, I'm taking life easy. I'm not really getting deeper as I proclaimed and kind of wanted to yesterday. Still have my sights set on more phones and more material because I'm trying to grab this system while it still works because I think it's downhill from here. That's my assumption. So we're just trying to take advantage of these things while we can, but I do think life is going to change pretty dramatically. And, we will see what materializes. It could still be rough. But, taking things day by day, step by step. That's the Schla way. No, I'm kind of joking. That it's not really the Schla. I'm trying to have more of a spirit about myself. I think that that's important. And I don't know. I guess I want to say I feel free in a way. I feel liberated. I feel like I'm finally one of them, We're finally getting somewhere. I think life, it'll work out. I think it's going to work out. We're going to stop. We're going to try to begin to have a calm outlook. We may want to revisit my old path, actually. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I might do that tomorrow. It's like when you have a place that you would walk for a while, then things change, gets different. And yeah, it's all good. It reignites the memory. It recreates the feeling by walking the same road. But what if places change, and we're not able to re-access them? I think something I've thought about that I think is pretty interesting. By the way, I do want to note, I think my light luck today is probably more perfect than it ever has been. I don't think I've ever nailed it quite like this. This has so far been a stupendously smooth transition home. I don't think it's ever been that nailed and perfect. So that's take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. This is great. Yeah, I mean we're just at a point now where we're having some serious stability, some serious pilotage, the usual. Well, it really wasn't usual until just now, but that's kind of weird, actually. No, I'm just there's something my car is saying that don't really seem right, but nah, never mind. Yeah, it's just playing. Anyways, yeah, my car's just playing. The huge. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, spiritual future, it comes when it comes, but it goes when it goes. And my point, yeah, I don't really know why my spirits feel the way they do. I think I'm just getting over some personal hurdles. I think there's kind of, man, I mean, the last March was such a change. It was like a month of change, It was really a month of change. And I guess we're nearing the end of, well, we really are reaching like an actualized state, right? So I think I've theorized about this before. I had to have talked about it before, but I think this was an idea that this is old. This is an old theory, but I think that everybody has their thing, and some people just have, you know, crazier things than others, right? And in my case, I do have some crazy expectations, but I think they ultimately end up panning out because they're not. I feel like a lot of people, I want to say the average person, their main things that they like in life are not really stuff that objectively matters. And that doesn't invalidate a person, but it makes things very unoptimal, right? This is kind of, and hey, in my case, I could still be more optimal. There's always room for that. But just hear me out. And I think most people, their thing is obviously going to revolve around food. Like, I think in general, most people, if they're living lavish, they want to eat well. They want to eat well as frequently as possible. They want to get, if they can afford it, they want takeout. They want it from nice places if they can afford it, or from cheap places, you know, if they're just trying to be quick. I think this is the bulk of what people think and feel. You know, that's like the primary thing, you know, is that. Well, I was gonna, yeah, that guy's really. Anyways, the primary thing is, I really would have to assume it's probably food. I think a lot of people need to eat well in order to be fulfilled. I think they need good tasting food. I don't think many people, I just think people are not happy on limited or low food. They're just not. I think this is a common problem. And I mean, nowadays it's probably common, but people still lean on eating out. You know, it's not like people, I just think generally speaking, people are probably more malnourished than ever before. A lot of people just eat completely disgusting diets and, you know, processed foods. That's the big name nowadays. And my diet has its problems. You know, I'm actually considering broadening it, but my diet is at least more fundamental. So it's definitely better than, again, before it was mainly just pasta. So we're making it the carnivore thing, it's progress, but I'm not sold on it. I know before when I spoke about it, I was sold on it. I don't know that I'm sold on it anymore. My skepticism to try to put some other things in there is growing. So, but anyways, everybody has their thing. Some people, it might be going to see a sports game in person. You know, some people see the price of the tickets and think, well, why would I do that? I think most people think that way. But, you know, some people just really, really like to go to the games. And it's a legitimate thing. They really like to actually be there and go to the game. And it's something people love to do. Other people have different things that make them happy. Maybe it's leasing a certain car and being able to, every couple years, have a new car to try. Maybe they go around to different brands. Sometimes they want to see how Nissan is. Next time, they're going to pick Honda. Next time, feeling a little fancy, Volkswagen. You know, and some people may look at this as wasteful or unnecessary, and in an objective sense it is, but to that person, that could be their favorite thing. This could be what gives them joy, what gives them motivation in life. Another person could like vacations or traveling. They really want to travel. They really enjoy traveling, right? Everybody has these inherent things, and we can do some things to change them, but we can't do a ton, and I think some people are very limited. I would say in my case, I'm probably way more malleable than most people in terms of I kind of always thought to try to shift and change my desires to what would actually be most optimal for a long time. And I wasn't completely successful in doing this, sadly. I just wasn't like I don't feel like I was perfect at doing this. So. Sorry, I just had like a really strange, dark thought come over my mind. I don't. I'm not even gonna say it. Oh my gosh, that's weird. That is weird. Not me doing anything, but like something bad just happening, in the world. Anyways, everybody has their thing, and a lot of times it's really easy for us. I mean, even the example I gave, yeah, like some people really just get a joy out of getting food. The whole process of ordering the food, buying it, taking it home. Some people love takeout. Some people love the experience of the drive-through. We live in a world that provides us all these different experiences and lays them out in a very nice platter. And we kind of bounce around, we try different things, but we eventually kind of find our way and get hooked on the certain things that are going to be most interested, that we're going to be most interested in, I guess. And yeah, we all have our things. Now, in my case, I think I've talked about it before. It's probably technological hardware. For me, it's like having the latest phone, having the highest spec, highest tier computer, having interesting technology, especially having, tech that's unique. There's a lot of things that I want. I would want a car that's interesting, but my pragmatism kind of counters that like a lot because a car can get extremely expensive. So, I'm not really at that stage. And yeah, so I wouldn't say the car idea really makes too much sense. I can't deny that. But I mean, someday if I was rich, I'd want an interesting car too. Well, it's probably just the Mini Cooper. I don't like, and without getting too crazy, it's just Mini Cooper. That's my thing that I'd want. Kind of pricey, but not crazy. Not crazy pricey. So, but where to next? What am I thinking of next? Thinking. Thinking. What am I thinking? Oh yeah, everybody has their own thing. And the reason why mine is more optimal is because there is like value erosion that takes place with tech, so it's not perfectly optimal. It isn't the best thing to collect. You know, there's other things that actually are low key more of an asset. Trading cards, you know, they can sometimes remain valuable and never really deteriorate. Like they might fluctuate, but technology, it's like destined to deteriorate, you know, and that is a major flaw with my whole like thing, I guess. But it's the whole point is it's still an asset. It's still value. And most people, I believe they mostly prioritize things that have no value or diminish in value. And the obvious example is food. I mean, food is an extreme waste of money. And I think that's why my brain isn't interested in it, because it's kind of like the highest manifestation of materialism in the world is like spending a lot of money on food and eating these lavish things, and they turn to dust. I mean, technology turns to dust too, but it's obviously more permanent. It affects your daily life, potentially makes your daily life more pleasant, to have a nice screen to look at, for things to be operating very smoothly and swiftly. So there's a lot. There's a lot there to unpack and think about. And you could even argue a car to some extent. Like if you have a nice car, that does matter. Even a reliable car, you know, versus a cheap one. Although really it's not like there's all that many cheap cars anymore, but you know. I think you get what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of these investments that may seem wasteful, but it's like, you know, using a car all the time and all that stuff, maybe it makes sense to buy one. Who knows, you know? So, but everybody has their thing. And in my case, I think my thing is pretty achievable, but it does have its downsides. And I think I tend to be a little bit crazy, and it's still expensive. You know, my thing, it's still an expensive thing. Like it's pricier than some people's. But again, I think overall I can't complain too much, and I feel that I'm just grateful because it ends up helping me execute like a lot of stuff. Like this whole mic setup, for example. That's why after a while I just bought it, because it was expensive, but I got ridiculously good deals on this equipment. And then why shouldn't I just do it? Like I have the brain to do it. I have the mind to pull it off. So why not? You know, there really was no reason. I don't know why I was holding back, and I bought so much other silly things. And it was like, you know, for what? Really? For what was I doing that for? I don't really know. It just seems weird. I yeah, I don't really, not really sure. Wow. That's a lot of traffic here, more than usual. Kind of weird. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I have to be grateful for myself. There's no reason not to be. You know, it's like I wonder if this will be a record home time because I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever had this flawless of a ride home. I don't think it's ever been. I mean, this was flawless. This was just optimal, optimal, optimal. Anyways, what am I talking about? Okay, I finally remember. So yeah, 20 minutes in, me rambling about the main point is I think I'm reaching actualization where we're really getting to the point where most of the low hanging fruit. I know I've been saying I kind of picked all the low hanging fruit. I don't think that was fully true yet. It's gonna be true. I think very soon we're basically gonna have just about everything that I really want. And again, short of my own land, short of a child, a family, but in terms of my own personal belongings and just safety buffers and reserves, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much there at the end of the road, you know? And so I think what is rare is that I may be close to a material self-actualization. I obviously don't think I've achieved an emotional yet, or like because I think that would require a very good friend to come into my life or something. And I don't have that. So, but in terms of material, and I think a part of me, I am pretty much becoming self actualized, where it's like, you know, I have these certain desires and I have a lot of things that make me happy. And I just feel good. And I don't think that's something that many people can say because there's a lot of people who they may want to go on vacation and travel, and that would be actualizing and fulfilling for them. There's a lot of people that want to say that, but they can't actually do it. There's a lot of people that want to go out to eat a lot, but they can't actually do it. And so that's the difference is that I think most people don't end up ever really getting their actualization because, especially nowadays, our actualizations can be very high. They can be very difficult to achieve. And so, and this is due to the internet. And in my case, they're low. Materially, they're not low materially, but I think you get where my point is. They are reasonable. For other people, it's not that reasonable. And I think a majority of people don't really achieve these things that they really want. I think too many other things get in the way and they're not able to achieve the dream. You know, I don't think so. I think they're not able to achieve the dream. But my dreams were low, and there's probably, like, obviously there's further dreams that I've yet to, but I'm just so far ahead of where I thought I would be. You know, I talk about that a lot, but it's true. I didn't know that I'd be here. I didn't know that I'd make it. Thought maybe I wouldn't. So, yeah, it's all legit. It's all legit. Like, I can't believe half of this stuff, you know? I just can't believe half of it. But we're here. And it's crazy. Even finally having and finding the thing that is what I think my calling speak. I mean, I'm breaking up over now. I'm just, no, yeah, I don't. I'm breaking up over. I'm just playing around. Um, and yes, yeah, so I think there is kind of this like, oh, wow, like things are kind of okay. Wow, you know, and it's not something that a lot of people really achieve, because I think it's harder for people to. And I'm a pretty interesting storm of things here, you know. So we'll see what happens. I guess yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to keep waiting to see the story and how it plays out. What can be done? What can be done? But yeah, that's what I was thinking about today. I mean, for all the misery or the weight that I feel, a lot of it is kind of unnecessary. You know, like I'm fine. I'm definitely fine. I really shouldn't be that worried, and it's just, you know, it just seems like a bunch of silliness now. But like that being said, the misery or the weight, it's not like it has to go completely, because I think it's a perspective thing. And there's a lot of people that really lack the perspective. So that's definitely an important thing to bear in mind. So but we're still here for the journey. We are still here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll be a record, because especially towards the end, I started chilling a little bit too much, just driving it easy. Yeah, I don't know. But it's good. I think the theme is needing to learn my independence. It's a big thing that I haven't really gotten the hang of. It's something I just haven't really gotten the hang of, you know. But yeah, that's what's weird about me is in a way I fit in well for somebody who's so eccentric. It's such a weird, like I've found my place or my way in the world. I don't even know how else to explain it. Isn't that weird? I just feel like it's weird. You know, cuz it's like an outcast, but somehow I'm making it things work. Like I'm fine. It's weird. It's weird. I didn't think I would. I didn't really think I'd find my didn't think I'd find my place. I don't know. But it's been chill. It's definitely been chill. I don't know. But we'll see. We're waiting for the revolution. We're waiting for the revolution. We have a lot to consider. We have a lot to think about for sure. You know? For sure. Well, it's been fun, guys, but no, I'm joking. Well, it's been fun, guys, but it's time to go. so, so I appreciate you guys being here, but it's time to go. And I think that I don't know. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. What is there to think, really? What is there to think? What thinking is there to do? Do we have enough power to get over the hill? All right. Anyways, it has been schla, and now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.